welcome back to my channel. I'm Mark from Wandering Souls. You guys see it, I survived the Stonehenge festival. I'm still alive. Fantastic festival every year. It's a big party, and there's a lot of fantastic, great bands. This year I just decided to come in a bit later. Yeah, there are so many bands each year. I think there are 24 bands or something like that in a whole day. So, and that's for two stages. That's a lot. That means 12 bands a stage during like 13 hours or something like that. It's ridiculously much. So the festival really started at 10 a.m. But when we came, it was probably around 2 o'clock, I think, somewhere in that thing. So you just take it easy, wake up easily in the morning, and then have some food, enjoy those easy, and then coffee, etc. Then going to Steenwijk in the beginning of the afternoon. Around noon, I think. Afternoon, it's called a bit later. So around noon, I think, there we go to Steenwijk, which is the city it's in. But yeah, just took some lunch again and slowly getting to the festival, and started up pretty easily. The first band we came in, and the first band we witnessed was Fleshless from the Czech Republic. It's not the first time I've seen this band on this festival. I think it's the third time or something like that. But this band is around for a really long time, like 30 years or something, and they're still putting out some death grind all the time. It's a band that is active and releases a lot of stuff, and it's always a party to witness the band. But I have seen the band so much at the point that I come to a point from hell. I want to see another band, but the band performed pretty well, and if you like that kind of stuff, then you really had a good time, I think. Second band, Tortori. Another Czech Republic band, active since 1991, was on the other stage after Fleshless, and it's also it's a death metal band, active for a long time as well. It's also not the first time I have seen them on the Stonehenge festival, so for me that were not two new bands, but I really enjoyed it. Great death metal. Had a great time. Met some people I know, and had some fun watching the band. And yeah, it was, for me, one or two new bands, but they qualitatively good. If you're new to death metal, grindcore, or anything, that's new bands to check out. Great bands. First band I never saw was Dumas. I hope I pronounced it right. Dumas or Dumas. Don't know how to pronounce that. But first time seeing them as an atmospheric death doom metal band. Heavy growls, slow tempos, and a lot of keyboard atmosphere going on. I really enjoyed the gig actually. Yeah, really more atmospheric and yeah, I had fun watching them, and it was a really nice performance. I really enjoyed it. So great band. Another band I have seen before is Purgatory. Also on the Stonehenge Festival by accident. Um, yeah, but it's a fantastic band. Another band that has a lot of experience. A band from Germany. I think they're active like 30 years as well, something like that. I have a couple of releases by them as well, and I really always enjoy their stuff. So yeah, it was fun to watch. Then we saw Code Daver. Kozaver is a grindcore band from the Netherlands, and also not the first time I've seen that band. Also, it's a band that has said we quit every time, and then hey, you're on the Stonehenge Festival again. What is that? Is that filling a gap or something? I don't know, but it's always fun to watch. I always love the funny way of acting on the stage. The costumes are funny. They have that suits like human tissue, skeleton things, the human body things without the skin. That kind of suits they have, and it's really fun to see. Funny lyrics, although they are pretty gruesome at some points as well. But yeah, always fun to watch. But it's a band you have to love. Big Squeals, for example. If you don't like that kind of stuff, then this is not a band for you. Let's put it that way. It's pretty over the top, and yeah, it is an acquired taste, I have to say. Next up was supposed to be Ade. They performed actually, but my pal and I were busy eating and looking at the merch stands. So yeah, we heard them in the back, but we didn't really pay attention to the band. Actually, it sounds pretty okay to me. Nice band. Um, but yeah, it was not a band that I came for. But yeah, they didn't perform really bad. I have to say, it's a band I have to keep an eye on. It was also not a band that I'm really not familiar with, so maybe it's just a reason to watch. But hey, I wanted to see some other bands later of the day, so I wanted to do the eating and purchasing things a bit earlier than otherwise I don't have the time for it. So sometimes you have to make choices in the schedule. Next up was a black metal band from the Netherlands, sorry, Asafrouwen. And I was looking forward to fantastic black metal, all female band. Sadly, there were some problems with the sound at the beginning of the gig, but yeah, in the end they solved it. So we can enjoy the black metal they made. Great band led by Obscura, a female guitar player singer who has been active in other black metal bands as well. The drummer was fantastic. Played really, she punches really the drums really hard. You definitely can tell. She was before in Sisters of Suffocation, way back, but she's a pretty decent drummer as well. And to all members, I think they change members here and there as well. In country they are which ones are playing. Sometimes you see the one woman and sometimes the other woman, and you have two girls. One is I think is also a metal bar, I think. The bass player, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she has a metal bar somewhere in Groningen or something. And the other one I didn't know who that was, but she did well. Although I think her guitar playing could be a bit more to the front as well. I got the idea that Obscura was overpowering her sound, but that's my opinion. But overall they played pretty decent. I really enjoyed the gig. Kind of funny to see a black metal band with all corpse paint and stuff in full sunshine. But yeah, it didn't bother me. I enjoyed the gig, so well played, girls. Next up, Stillbirth from Germany. Really brutal death metal, slammy things going on as well. They call themselves surf death metal, but it's kind of funny, the outfits, how they look, and the whole image around the band. How they were looking. Well, they had a swim suit on and nothing else. So it's really funny to see. But yeah, it's all within their appearance. Music wise, pretty heavy, brutal. Vocals definitely impressed me. Almost towards the end of the gig, we went outside to get some shadow because we all standing full time in the sun, so we almost get sunburned there. So we decided to, we're gonna sit outside, and we still could hear him play very well. Um, Especially the vocal delivery, the lower gutturals were really good. I have to say, awesome stuff. Great band. It was not a band that I was seeking out to see, but I enjoyed their gig, of what I saw of it, of course, and what I heard later. Leak and Ingested. We have um, heard as well because I was doing again some urgent things, talking to people, etc. And yeah, we heard great old school Swedish death metal. Nothing wrong with that. Ingested we totally missed actually, because we decided to go into Steenwijk, the city itself, to get some refreshments and sit down for a bit at a cafe and take an ice cream and that kind of stuff. Away from all the noise around the head, to come back freshly for vomitory. That was a band, of course, we both wanted to see. Fantastic death metal from Sweden, brutal stuff, a lot of old school vibe into it. They played very well. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed the gig. Fantastic band, a band that I follow for years now, and I have multiple albums from. I think I have almost all. I think I'm missing two albums, but someday they will be in my collection somehow. Um, but I'm not in a hurry or anything. But I think I'll get to a point that I have them all. Um, but yeah, great bands. Nothing wrong there. If you're into death metal, definitely band to check out. Let's take a nip of the drink here. Next up, a band that my pal wanted to see a lot. Possessed, of course also a band that I wanted to see, but he was really into it. That's a band I want to see. Of course, we're gonna watch Possessed. It's a legendary band, a classic death metal band from the 80s, still active. yeah, you gotta have some props to the singer because although he's in a wheelchair, the guy also always wanted to deliver and play that old school death metal. He has gathered around some great musicians around him, like Daniel Gonzalez, for example, great guitar player. Um, Fantastic band around him to perform that old school classics. So good to see that they released a couple of years ago a new album, an album I really enjoyed and definitely would fit with their older material. Seven Churches, of course, is of course a classic. They played a lot of songs from that and some from the second album and from the newer tracks. Um, yeah, always good to see Possessed. Definitely worth if you're in the really old school thrashy death metal. Nothing wrong with that. Vocal delivery is bit, of course, a bit less deeper, gradual than the newer bands, but you have to consider that a bit in a time frame because, of course, they are more thrashy in sound. That the vocals are also a bit more in between there. So yeah, but great bands. They delivered, and nothing wrong with that performance. Great bands. Autopsy. Yeah, another classic band for so long since the end of the 80s. These guys are so longly active and they played a lot of classic material. Songs from the first album, the second album, all that's fantastic. Loved it. A kind of weird appearance that one of the speaker cabinets fell off or fell down on the stage. I don't know what happened there. That was kind of weird. Don't know. It was really strange and something. Bang! What? I don't know what really happened there. I kind of missed that little bit of piece of information why that fell down, but it was really strange. But they picked it up, put it on the top again, and it still worked. So that was luckily. So they played on where they stopped, exactly at that point actually, because Chris Ryford wanted to play from that point on. So from that on, you're gonna start, and bam, there it was, professionally done. But yeah, it was kind of a weird experience why that fell down. I don't know. Maybe somebody else could tell me there. I don't think there are with cables or anything. They're tableless, so I don't know why that fell down. So it wasn't pulled. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of weird. But overall, fantastic gig. They played well. Of course, you see the little footage here and there. It's funny to hear vocals and not seeing the vocalist. That's because Chris River is the drummer and the vocalist, so he's in the back. So if you're from the sides, you couldn't see him. Shit happens. Anyways, he delivered vocal-wise, so yeah, fantastic performance. And the headliner, of course, Hypocrisy. great performance. I can't say anything bad about that. I didn't see it till the end because you have to catch a train, but overall, I think I saw, almost a half hour, like, yeah, something like that, air vein of that performance, and yeah, it was fantastic. Somehow, I was also funny that the bass player was not there. Was something while traveling, so he couldn't be there on time or something. I don't know what it was that Michael wasn't there, but overall, they filled it in with backing tracks. You know, they played some bass in and track that, and then put it to the performance. So sound wise, you didn't miss him, of course. Performance, you see one man less, but overall, a great steady performance, great tunes. A lot of atmosphere as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's my review in short. I don't want to ramble too long. Um, like I said, I haven't seen all the bands. But I think Stonehenge is a festival that puts on so much bands. It's so tiring, and it's, of course, it's a lot of fun. But if you start from 10 in the morning till 12 in the evening, at 12 p.m., then it's so intense. Sound wise, and were not a lot of bands that I wanted to see per se in the early time of the morning. Skullhawk already have seen some time before, so it comes to Good Ranch, and Moflon was maybe interesting, but I never heard of it. Fractured Insanity is a name I know. It's also a pretty decent band, but it's not a band that I want to seek out per se. So I decided to have a nice quiet start before to do all the noise all day. So overall, I met some great people. We were very lucky in the weather. In the morning, it seemed to have rained there, and when we came, the rain was already over. So we had sunshine all day, dry weather. So that was fantastic. Only thing there is not a lot of shadow, so you're always standing in the sun. So if you got sunburned really fast, then you have to, otherwise you are red like a pig, red like a lobster. Sorry. So, anyways, yeah, shit happens, but maybe you consider to make one shadow place or something like that, in the seating area or something. It's also a thing I noticed they changed the way of the place there a bit different. The sitting area was turned, and there was a little merged in area in between. The food stands were a bit moved here and there. I saw the the thing to get the coins to pay drinks, etc. To where you get that the checkout for that was moved to another part of the area, and the entrance was moved a bit more to the right. So they changed up a bit here and there, but overall I had a really great time. Made some great people, had some great foods, nice beers. There was also special beers this year, which I really enjoyed. Knijten Brewery, your beers are fantastic. Thank you. Overall, it's a really nice day, and always nice and get together there. See some familiar faces. Also missed a few faces. So there were some people that were not there that were usually there. Kind of weird, but yeah, they had other things, I think. But most of the time, people I would expect to be there, but they weren't there. So yeah, overall, great festival, great bands, well organized. Yeah, always fun to go to the Stonehenge festival. Of course, I also bought some merch, which I already, you know, talked about a little. So let's get into that part. I visited multiple stands. I think I bought from 1 to 3 stands. I think stuff. Of course, I visit more stands, but you don't always find something you're looking for. But Artsrock stand is one I've always visited because Mike, owner of Artsrock magazine, there's always some CDs that are new, really cheaply priced. Some CDs that are in the shop like 18 euros are there 10 euros. That are more reasonable prices to me. And I decided, let's have a look again because I always find stuff at his stand somehow for 10 euros or less. So I picked up 2 CDs there. First one is a new one from Raven. And I'm really looking forward to a great heavy metal. Yeah, nothing wrong with this, and definitely want to have this album. I wasn't really kind of doubtful if I would pick up a vinyl, but if I'm at festivals like that, I'm not regularly picking up a vinyl because the chances that it get damaged is big time, especially if it's sold out. The festival was really packed, so didn't want to damage. So I decided to just go for CDs, and so yeah, I picked up a new Raven. It's called All Hell's Breaking Loose. And yeah, fantastic album. I already heard some tracks from this in the live gig I went to earlier this year. Fantastic album. So yeah, definitely go check this out if you like some great heavy metal. Long running band as well since the 70s, so it's always quality by those guys. Also decided to pick up the new Night Demon, another heavy metal band. This is called Outsider. Good stuff. Already have another album from these guys, and I really enjoy this band, so I decided to pick up their new album. Great stuff, and again, great heavy metal. Then, of course, I visit the stand of Raw Skull Records. Picked up 2 CDs there. First one I was really surprised to see. It's a Japanese band. Yeah, then I had to pick it up. This is Tyrant with Grimoire. This is the band's second album, and this is symphonic black metal band. I think this is the third album. Could also be. I'm really familiar with their album Legend, which is fantastic. I still need to grab that also someday. That was released back in the day on Displeased Records. But I found this album and I thought, well, I need to have this. It wasn't priced, but I didn't care. Or was it 20 euros? I wanted to have it. It wasn't like 20 euros. I think I paid probably 7 euros or something like that for this one. So, yeah, fantastic album. Glad to have it. So, yeah, another Japanese band in the collection here. And I bought an old school death thrash band. This is Eternal with Faceless Evil. Is that right? Faceless Evil, yes. It's their new EP from 2023. This is a death thrash band from Phoenix, Arizona, US. Great band. Definitely want to have this one, so I decided to pick it up. It's in the stack of their new releases on the table there. So when I saw it, I thought, hey, let's pick this one up. And I bought the shirt. They had a bin kind of underneath the table with all price down shirts, probably leftovers or something from the merch things, and decided to pick up a shirt from Altar. So this is from that demo. God created Satan to blame for all his mistakes. I picked up this shirt, and in the back says "Youth Against Christ." Dutch death metal band in the vein of Deicide. So if you like that kind of blasphemous stuff, that's a band to check. Definitely check their early material, "Youth Against Christ," and their second album. Damn it, I lost the title. I'll put it there. check out those albums definitely. But great band. Yeah, and the shirt was really cheap, like €7.50 or something, €7, €7.50 in that vein. There were multiple shirts. There some best shirts in there that I liked quite design, but I didn't know the band. So I'm always like, if I don't know a band, of course I want to check out, but I'm not gonna wear a shirt from a band that I don't know. So kind of weird, I think. But yeah, that's everybody's own opinion, of course. If you want to do that, it's your choice. But yeah, that's the stuff I picked up from Raw Skull Records. And there was another stand behind the back of the seating area. I also bought some really good, cheap stuff. I bought this album from Arcona. Don't gonna pronounce that album title because it's in Russian. Russian, pagan, folk Viking metal, maybe that area, but fantastic band. I didn't have this album, so I decided to pick this up. I think this was like $8 or something, so that's not really bad. It's released by Vic Records, so this is a reissue, but I don't really mind that it's a reissue. Great band, and yeah, definitely love Masha's vocals. Great front woman in this band. Good stuff. And then my surprise, I found this album, and this is an album I had in my collection back in the day, but when I moved I got rid of it, but I found it back there and for really in decent condition for only €2. So I thought, what the fuck, €2 for this album? Well, let's pick it up. It's Avantasia with the Metal Opera. It's a project by Tobias Sammet from Edguy. Great power metal, a lot of guest musicians. They are all on the back here, so you can read all who they are. A lot of famous names. Good stuff. So it was an album that I not recently listened to regularly, but for €2, have it back in the collection. You know, sometimes you have the need to spin some stuff and you think, fuck, I got rid of this. Why? This was one of those things. But fantastic stuff here. So I decided to pick up this one. Only €2. This is ridiculous. And I bought an album from Camelot. This is called Epica. Another great power metal band. Everybody knows Camelot by now, I think. It's back in the day with world singer Roy Khan. This is released in 2003, somewhere in that era. I know the band Epica named their band after this one, so yeah, that's why the name Epica comes from. But it's fantastic stuff, guys. All complete, limited first edition as well, with all the booklets, and I think you can give temporary tattoo or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's from this logo here. So yeah, really cool. It's a complete package, good in good condition. I think page 7 or 8 for this, so awesome. Good stuff. Completely. So really nice to have this, and it's kind of funny with the enhanced parts, the CD-ROM part. Still, yeah, they have used QuickTime. It's just so end of the 90s, guys. But if you see that, but yeah, awesome stuff. Also comes from the bonus track, I think. I don't know what song it is. Snow is the bonus track. It's the track listing. But great power metal from the US. Good stuff. Camelot. So that's all the stuff I bought, guys. I know I rambled a lot again. Once again, a long video. Mark, why? Well, sometimes you need to tell a lot of stuff. But I really enjoyed my time, like I said. Fantastic to go to that festival again. Got some really nice stuff, had a great time, and that's all what it all is about, you know, sporting bands. It's also what you do if you go to gigs. They get money for playing there. Eh? That's a thing you consider. So Awesome, awesome festival. If you love extreme metal, definitely a festival to check out if you're in the Netherlands or around the Netherlands. It's every year in the last Saturday of July, so that's the time you would expect to be a festival in Steenwijk. And Steenwijk is somewhere in the middle of Leeuwarden and Meppel, Zwolle, Meppel, that area. You know, for me, my house is like 30 minutes to that city. So, yeah, fantastic city, and it's also a really nice center with some nice restaurants and things like that. If you get bored at the terrain, it's close like a 5-minute walk or something. So, and it's easy to get there as well. The festival is almost next to the train station, so it's like 2 minutes. That's all you have to go to the train station. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you very much for doing so. That's it, guys. See you next video. More coming up, of course. Plenty of reaction videos to do still. I got a lot of more requests in, so there will be new reaction videos. I've got a lot of collection updates coming up, probably also some unboxings. There's so much stuff coming in at the moment that I'm kind of getting to a point to slow down a bit. I got so much stuff in it. I think, hey, I also need to have time to listen to it. So I will get all the stuff in, show it to you guys, and probably then it will be more quiet until more new stuff comes in. But then you talk a bit months later, probably. So there will be a lot of collection updates coming. Some vinyls, some CDs, yeah, different kind of places. Also, there will also be another Japanese video probably, and yeah, some record CD updates with some other stuff. So different kind of stuff coming up. So don't worry, I'm still be active. Don't know if I'm gonna post every day coming weeks. Still have a couple of weeks off, but after that I have to go to work again. So there will be more gaps in the future. Not really big gaps. Don't expect to be weeks or months. No, probably a few days or so in between. Like 3 videos in a week, probably. That's kind of schedule it will be. Yes, I'm already rambling again too long, but it's something I wanted to tell you guys. If you say, hey, he doesn't post every day anymore, yeah, that sometimes happen live, you know. But I will still make videos. Don't worry, I will come back. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next video. Stay healthy, stay safe, and keep it metal.